Nicole, Danielle, can you stop drinking that damn coffee? Put that latte down. I'm American, I'm American, I'm American, I'm American. The bloody marry an American man then. Why? Why go to a foreign country? Every argument, every disagreement, their response is I'm American. Well, going to bloody marry an American man. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I had enough of these two women, man. I should just feel like flashing them both down the toilet. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Miss Iffy. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And please share it with your family and friends. Sharing is caring. Now, let's get on with 90 Day Fiancé. Season 4, the other way. We're on episode 8, I think. I'll put it in the description. Oh, wow. Okay, let's start with the two boring couple. And that is Danielle on your hand. Had enough of these two completely. Like, I don't even know why they brought them back. But anyway, Danielle is... One thing I've noticed about TLC is a shady network, right? And they do every season, when they go to West African country and when they go to Dominican Republic, they always seems to show us something that you as a viewer is like, no, I don't want to see. And in this episode, it starts them showing us that chicken in the market with the flies. Why? I don't know. Like, seriously, you know, if you're not from these countries, because of the heat, the meat is fresh, it's been cut, you know, killed right there and then. So therefore, that's their market. Yeah? Saying that, when I went to Latvia and Lithuania for Christmas, and their food market, they had this huge food market. So one end, it was closed and whatever. And then if you come out from that complex and go to the other one, it was just like full of meat. And it kind of reminded me, but except theirs was like all covered because it's a frozen. You know, it's a winter country, so they all had protected. There was no flies, anything like that. But with the hot country, in a market, in a street with no fridges and stuff, you know, the flies is going to attract that. And I really don't understand why they keep on showing us that image. It's not acceptable. Do better. Anyway, we're in the Republic, and Danielle, what the hell's going on in that room? Like, full of clothes everywhere. And we're not talking about normal clothes, like you just take your suitcase and dump it on the bed. We're talking about the room looked like somebody decided to go and rob that house, but they in particularly went to this in a bedroom, and they were looking for specific items. So therefore, they turned the whole bed upside down, like clothes. We're talking about from knickers to whatever. No, I don't know how you allow that, Danielle. Come on, you should know and clean that damn bedroom before. But anyway, here she is talking about, you know, she has to try to figure out how she's going to live and organize her life in the Republic. She's into her spiritual nonsense. I say nonsense because I just can't take her. So if you're a spiritual person, good for you. I know it's not nonsense, but Danielle is just full of nonsense. That's all. So she meets her spiritual advisor, Baba. Baba, I don't know why all these American... I know at some point you might thinking as an American audience, right? You might thinking, oh my God, what do I have against Americans? I've got nothing against Americans. I just don't get these spiritual Americans who's like proper dressed up like the African leader in a village. That's exactly how he was dressed up. And they did a video link reading. And he tells her husband, as soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, oh my God, who's this man trying to be uncle? Uncle from the village. Yeah. Yeah, I find it cringy when I see things like that. But hey, And he does her husband's reading. Obviously, her husband is not into this, what she's into. He's very Christian, modern, i.e., doesn't visit the church regularly, kind of thing. And he's not into the spiritual stuff, but they do his reading. This man told Johan that he needs to not eat mushrooms. He needs to be careful eating mushrooms. Also needs to be careful about eating bones. I just laughed. It's full of it. Anyway, they finished the reading. This woman, right, finished reading and the electric cuts off. And then she says how Johan doesn't think things like this financially. She asked him, how come you didn't tell me? And then she was like, I'm not talking to you right now. Let me calm down. And I thought to myself, you're always moaning about this guy and his finances. There's no way you're going to live in that on his wages in the Republic between both of you from what you're doing. Yeah, woman? Hello, Danielle, I'm talking to you. Right? So how do you think he's gonna put his way like in this relationship? He told you he wanted to live in America so he can make more money. And then you have the cheek to have a go at him about not budgeting that when you're here paying for a spiritual advisor, also a translator too. I mean, come on. That is too unnecessary cost. But yet you're complaining about his finance management. Oh, let's just flush her in the toilet. Because she's so delusional and doesn't see her problem on what she's doing in the relationship. She just focuses on him and runs with it. Not once have I heard Danielle for the last 2 seasons, because this is their second season. They were in another 90-day fiance. Is it called Paradise in Love? Love in Paradise? Actually, another season of that's coming up soon as well. Looking forward to it. She was in that, and not once have I heard Danielle take accountability for this. And known her history of being financial and responsible. Yet she's quick to have a go at him. Anyway, enough about that. Of that moment, we see them next time. They were having a dinner or a lunch or whatever, and they're having a discussion. She tells this man that her mate is coming into town from Miami. He plays basketball. She just starts sugarcoating this. Look at this. She's like, oh, my friend who plays basketball. He's in the Republic. And he's like, when did you speak to him? Yesterday. And I want to go and meet him. And then we find out from Johan, he was like, which friend, female? He was fine with it. And until she told him his name, and he went, what, your ex-boyfriend? And she was like, oh, well, it was not ex. Remember, I used to live with him, and, you know, we had some kind of intimacy, whatever. Basically, yeah. An F-buddy. Friends in benefit. I'm not sure if I can say these words on YouTube, but hopefully I can. Right? That sort of friend that she used to live with. And this woman has the cheek that she wants to go out with this guy by herself, out drinking and stuff. And Johanna was like, I don't think so. And then she had the cheek to tell him, I'm American. Why? If your argument every single time you disagree with his culture, with your partner's culture, yeah, your response is, I'm American. Why didn't you not just bloody marry an American man? Like, come on. Why did you not marry an American man? You obviously knew the man you were marrying, his culture, his beliefs, before you freaking married him or opened your legs for him. Holiday romance, blah, 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 blah. But come on, get real. Everything cannot be, oh, well, I'm American, it's fine. No. You know, if my partner went, oh, well, I'm going to just remember that girl that I used to live with and that I used to, jump bed buddy. Well, I'm going to go out with drinking with her tomorrow. I'm like, hell no, boy. Are you kidding me? And I will call him boy, because if that shite comes out of his mouth like that, he's a boy to me. not a man. Don't deserve that. Do you know what I mean? Because Johan hasn't met this guy. He doesn't know who this guy is, or what, other than that she used to sleep with him. Like, if he turned around and said to me, hey, babes, and I was like, no, no, little boy, because the moment you come with me like that, you're a boy to me. Mm-mm, not happening. If I knew, all right, that they were generally friends, and this happened years ago, that's fine. And the fact that I met her, but the fact that Johan hasn't met this guy, all he knows is how she was going in about what happened between. And again, why are you telling too much info about your personal life, of what you've been up to and who you were shared bed with your husband again, and then turn around saying American? Like, come on, that's not how it works. Anyway, I had enough of these two. Can we just, I'm just gonna, Johan, I think Johan, you don't need a therapy. Johan, you're okay. Maybe you need a mentor to teach you how to communicate with a independent, controlling wife like Danielle. Yes, that's what you need. So we're just going to send you to a class. Yeah, go ahead and find a mentor, a man who dealt with a woman like her, and they can tell you the ins and out. And her, she's just going to flash it in the toilet for now. Now let's go to Chris and Jamie's. Chris and Jamie's like most peaceful wedding on TLC history. So Chris and Jamie get married in Colombia. Her daughter couldn't come because of her school's timetable has changed. So she can't come for that reason. She's got to do her revision stuff. So her son, her daughter and her son and her mum watched their wedding through a video, a Zoom link, or whatever app they used. And yeah, it was very beautiful. Chris was her makeup and stuff was done by Jamie's other friend, and then the other one did Jamie's makeup and stuff. Chris was wearing her mum's wedding dress of 50 years ago. Yeah, this was very peaceful. The only thing was that Chris said on the ceremony was done in Spanish, and Chris said she didn't want to know, like, done being English, because she felt so happy being in that moment that it really did not matter what language the ceremony was going to be in, which I thought was beautiful. And we're just going to leave it there. Now, let's go to delusional Jane. Jen. And people are confusing Jenny and Samir. Jen. So back to India. Well, she's in Texas. Jen, you need a better friends. Your friends are like, I told you so. Who needs enemies when she has friends like them? Anyway, they were good at the beginning to it, but now they're just going a bit too far. So she sits down with her friends, and two of them, and one of them tells her that, Rishi has sent her a nude, well, a photo of himself. He's not nude, he is just wearing a towel. The thing is that I understand if he sent her the photo without her asking. And also, it would even be a lot more bad if the photo was him just being in his bathroom or his bedroom, selfie kind of thing. Then, that has a lot more. The photo he sent her was him wearing a towel and looked like it was done professionally. It was a professional shoot, and she asked him. She was like, send me a photo. So she was testing him. She says, hello. And they said, can I have a photo of you? And obviously, he sent one of his model photos to her. But the friends is running with this narrative of he's not a good guy. I know, I know. He gives me that F boy vibe. We already know. I'm not saying he's a good guy. From what they're showing us, he's giving her the runaround. Just gives her a little bit and then that's it. So she says, the friend says, she asked him to send a picture and they were having a conversation. She told him that she was a model and she was coming to India. And he said to her, oh, yeah, sure, we can meet when you come to India. I can show you around. And then he blocked her once he realizes that was Jen's friend. If you're going to do a detective work for your friend or for yourself, use a freaking fake account. Why would you be using a account on Instagram that you're friends with her? The whole point of doing a detective work for your friend is don't leave no traces. Yeah, and they just tell her, he's not a good guy, he's already sending me this. Obviously, Jen. Um, Jen is not wise enough. She's very miskin. She's very gullible. Miskin means innocent, by the way, but she's gullible. So she says, yeah, sure. I'm going to have to talk to him when I get to India because she's got her visa, 10 years stay visa. So she's going to go to India. And then her sister-in-law takes her there to the airport, and Richie's having a chat with his mate, his female friend, and the female friend's asking him, has he cheated before on Jen? And he was like, no. And she was like, but you're always surrounded by women. As soon as we go to the club, you're drinking. As soon as we enter the club, we don't see you. You just go to one girl and that's it. We don't see you at all. And so, and also everybody knows in town you're a bachelor. So it's like nobody's going to take you serious. Everybody knows what you're about. And yeah. And she also says she doesn't believe in like that he's going to marry her because he hasn't even told his family about her, which is what we're all thinking from what they showed us on the screen. I'm not sure how much his family are going to believe in this because I don't know what's script anymore and what's not in these two. And yeah, and and also the thing about Richie knows that he can go and play around and still will end up marrying a good woman because of their culture. He's been put in a pedestal. His family will be able to find him a wife from a good family, good background, and it does not matter his reputation. And that's it about them. Let's get to Isabella and Gabby. Gab, why are you fishing for something that you don't need to do? So we continue where we left last week, which is he tells Isabella's family that he's transgender and her parents are very supportive, which is not the reaction he was expecting. The dad wants to know more. The dad says, only who am I to judge you? Only God can judge you, right? And the mom said, look, we love you for who you are. These are not the exact words. These are my interpretation words, and yeah, you're a nice guy. So what you were born with really does not matter because the good person you are is what matters. Sorry, I just dropped something. Yeah. And in the morning, Gabby was talking to Isabella. He's like, your mom's reaction, I was not expecting that because everybody else who I've ever told reacted differently. And obviously he's got his past where all his girlfriend's family rejected him being just transgender. So he's kind of got caught up with that. So he's like, is your parents really serious? Or is this a show? I kind of was saying to myself when I was watching, I was like, Gabby, why are you digging a hole that you don't need to? Why can you just not accept that they're accepting you for who you are? Why do you need a negative Why did you need a negative reaction? For the first time in your lifetime, you're getting a positive, non-judgmental, welcoming, warm family. So why do you need to go and like search for something that's not there? So he asked her, can you talk to him, the mum, one-to-one, and she was like, okay. One thing I really like about Isabella's parents, especially her dad, every time she tells him something, he asks how she's feeling. He cares about how his grandchildren are, about the situation, and how his daughter. Their happiness is more important to him than his opinion, which is amazing and refreshing to see. I was like, wow, that. So he asked her, like, how do you feel? And she was like, look, we started as friends, and once he told me straight away, you know, he's a great guy. I'm not gonna judge him for his past. And that's it. Oh God, who do we left? Oh, Mahmoud and Nicole. Nicole, wake up. Wake up, Nicole. Because I had enough of you. Like, seriously, we had enough. She's always feeling like, Nicole gives me anxiety. Like, literally, Nicole gives me anxiety. On this episode, I really wanted to fast forward her. Victim Nicole, we're going to call her from now on. Victim Nicole. Victim Nicole likes to honestly make it all about her within. She reminds me of that kid at school, right? With the gobby mouth who threw the first punch. But once you knock them out, they're like, oh, they become the victim. They forget the fact that they've been like trying to bully you and punched you first. To them, that did not even exist. To them, is because you knocked them out. That's it. They've got no accountability of their action. They've got nothing of throwing the first punch. Zero. Yeah. There's no representation, like literal memory of that. That's Nicole. She's sitting there at the hotel, playing the victim, saying how her husband left her. She's in a foreign country, you know, and I was like, he asked you 3 times, a woman, to come with him, and you said no. Also, what do you mean I'm in this foreign country with nothing? Huh? And you don't know the country? Didn't you not say you freaking lived in Egypt for 6 months? Didn't you not just pack your bags from bloody California, woman? Yeah? And you went, oh my God, I'm going to go soul search. And you landed in Egypt before you even met Mahmoud. When you're not alone by then? Huh? You just pack your passport and some dirham. I'm sure they use dirham, Egyptian dirham. Moroccan use dirham. Tunisian use dirham. I'm sure it's Egyptian. When you just had some dollars, you made your way there and you met him. You had no problem doing that then. Why are we playing the victim now? Poor me, poor me, poor me. Oh, please. And there's no tears when she tries to cry. She reminds me, you see one of them movies, romance movies, where the woman is plotting to kill her husband. Yeah. She needs to be casted. Nicole, I reckon you have skills to play the victim woman. You know, so yeah, please get into acting and just audition for those roles. the crazy mistress woman who's going to plot her boyfriend's wives. I had enough. Anyway, Mahmoud was so funny that I really liked Mahmoud's brother Ahmed. Ahmed came to her with Mahmoud. Mahmoud said as soon as he got home, his brother was like, "Where's your wife?" And he was like, "There's no way you would do something like that." So he just like drags him, like literally just like clips in his ear and just gets him back to the hotel to her. The clip on the ear, right, is a cultural thing. So you see, when we were younger, a lot of we Africans do that. When you do something wrong, your parents just like kind of like twist your ear and just like drag you to where you need to be and apologize to whoever you need to apologize, or just like clean the floor that you decided you want to be a big mouth and not do your chore. Anyway, that is what Mahmoud's brother was doing. He dragged him back to her and want him to clean his mess. And he sat down with her and he's like, "Can I sit here? You're my sister. I'm sorry what you guys are going through. You know, I need you to understand you're a queen. He needs to treat you like a queen. You know, you're family to us." And then he leaves them together to talk. He tells him, "Say hi to your wife," which I thought was so silly. But anyway, and action camera. Yeah, action time. Here they are at each other's throat within 30 seconds because these two do not know how to be happy. Don't know how to be an adult at all. And having an argument again. She's like, "I'm not going to be what you want me to be. I'm not going to cover up." Then he's like, "Well, I'm American. I'm American. Oh, please. Why marry somebody who you're not going to try to understand their culture and respect their culture and try to compromise?" And I'm talking about both of them. And he's like, "Well, I'm Egyptian. I'm American. I'm Egyptian. I'm American." Nicole, you need to go and watch that documentary called "My Muhammad is Not Like Your Muhammad." I'm sure that's what it was called. Yeah. Anyway, and then the brother stops them arguing again because he's like, "I'm Egyptian. I'm American." And she was like, "Well, I want to go back home and get my stuff and take me to the airport." And then the brother gets involved again and sorts this mess out. Next time we see them in out with the brother, his wife, and their kid at a coffee shop, and they're playing like domino, I think. Yeah, they're playing domino with Mahmoud and his brother, and he's like telling Nicole, "Watch the game so you can learn how to play, and watch your husband lose," or something like that. He's jokes around. His brother's very cultural. He's traveled to China, which we found out because his wife is Chinese, and he lived in China before. Nicole says, before they moved to Egypt and had a kid, Nicole says how, when she likes being at a cafe with her father, this is what she does with her father, but instead they drinking beer. But Mahmoud doesn't like me drinking beer. Nicole, I told you again, just go and find the expat wives who are married to Egyptian women. Egyptian men. Okay? Seriously, they exist. You can go out with them 3 times a week. You can go to one of those fancy hotels that is for the foreigners only. Okay? You can go and like wear your bikini by the beach with the private beach, drink your cocktail, sunbathe with your two-piece bikini with your glasses, take your selfies for your Insta and damn. Yeah? Yeah? Kiki Kuka with them. Maybe sleep with a pool boy. I don't believe in cheating. Anyway, that's what you need to do. Gossip with them and make sure you're at home, like, say, 4 p.m. back. Yeah? Don't drink too much. Okay? Because I don't want you back in a drunk and getting an argument with your husband again. Yeah? Just enough tipsy for you to be feeling a bit wavy. And then come home and start making that coffee and tea for him. Yeah? You see? You lived in your Western world and had a great day. Had everything, your alcohol, you wore your bikini, you done your swimming, you're feeling a lot more relaxed. Yeah? And then, ta-da, for 2-3 hours, be a wife. And say yes. Live the best of both worlds. Anyway, the brother says, when she's talking about drinking beer with her brother, with her father, the Mahmoud's brother Ahmed says, actually, when he was in China, he used to drink tequila and he loves tequila. Mahmoud was a bit shocked. He was like, what? And he was like, yeah, years ago when I was living with my wife in China, things were different culture. So the shoes was on the other foot for him. And he said people used to look at him weird and stuff, which is understandable because it's not weird. It's just that when you go to China, if you're not Chinese or Oriental people, they see you as somebody new that they have not seen. Different color, different skin, different culture, whatever. But yeah, it was really nice. And he was like, I used to love tequila. And then he was like, actually, and he was like, and then Muhammad was like, I told mum. And he was like, no, not anymore. But this was years ago. And then we found out the wife said to Nicole that, hey, listen, when I moved here as well, they both said we used to have a lot of fight. Yeah. And she said, look, I don't like wearing the hijab. So what his wife does, like, she wears the hijab and she covers up, but like in a Western style where you can wear trousers as long as like you're wearing long sleeves and stuff. The wife understands her husband and the husband understands his wife, and they compromise. So she tells that, she's like, look, I don't like it, but due to the culture and where I am, if I'm not wearing these things or I'm not covered up, I feel left out, kind of thing. People are looking at me funny. So for that reason, this is why I compromised. And that's it for this episode.